got my friend Andrew here. He's here all the way from another state for reasons that aren't this, but he was in the area, so he figured, why not do this?
And I happen to bring something rather tasty with me, too.
He did bring something interesting with him. Why didn't you tell us what it is you've got here?
So we've got some moonshine from one of my friends who's a part of the Jeep community. And this is actually all the way from Kentucky. It's 140 proof, and I haven't tried it yet, and I'm certain you haven't tried it yet. So we can try that out and see what she tastes like. And it's supposed to be some serious, authentic.
Okay, so
out in the woodland area type of stuff.
I've dealt with these wide mouth mason jars before. You can't really pour shots of them.
Nah.
They're not for shot drinking.
I think you gotta...
They're for swigging.
You gotta...
Either you take a spoon and you spoon it out, or you just swig from the bottle.
I'll get swig from the bottle.
I'm gonna think swig from the bottle, especially because it's all the way up to here.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a pain in the ass to get out because you have to...
No, I agree with that. Yeah. So yeah, we could take a swig.
Or I could try to get the... I could get a measuring spoon maybe, but...
that's up to you.
Fuck it, we'll just take a swig.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've had something of this caliber proof. I mean, 140 is...
We'll just swig it, I think.
We'll just swig it. So, do the honors.
You sure?
Yeah, do the honors.
Ah!
Yeah, that's on there tight, though.
Maybe. If we can.
Maybe.
You want to try to get that open?
This is locked tight. There we go.
You got smaller hands than me.
I guess.
Well, you got better grip. Okay. There's a little bit of stilling residue on there. And
give it a whiff. Oh boy.
I mean, it has definitely got a smell.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely 140 proof worth of smell there. I'm gonna take that in a very slow manner. Or very fast manner.
Move this water bottle a little bit closer to me.
I'm gonna need one of those too.
Just trying to figure out what else smells I smell in there.
Because I definitely smell the alcohol in that.
Corn.
Corn?
Well, most of them use a corn mash, and I would not be surprised if there's a corn mash in here.
It does smell like there's a
corn
mash type mash flavor in that.
Oh yeah. If you want me to do the honors,
sure.
I'll go right ahead. 140 proof.
140 proof.
That is not bad at all.
All right, my turn.
Like, I thought it was going to be worse.
Smooth.
I mean, yeah.
Smooth coming down and but it's smooth. It's smooth. It's got that strength to it. It's smooth, but it's not. It doesn't bite and hurt.
Yeah.
But you can take shots of it, and it's not going to take you down. Well, it'll take you down. But it doesn't. It's not so harsh that you're going. I can't.
It's not the whiskey style.
I can't deal with it. It's
not the whiskey. It's not the whiskey like.
Yeah, it's not like whiskey. But
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm fine.
You can feel the heat.
Yeah.
Roll down into your stomach. So, but no, I mean it's got a very good taste to it. Yeah, it's got a good taste to it. I mean, I got other things to do after this, so.
So do I.
I'm probably gonna take one more sip, and then. Well, I'll probably
close that back up.
What I'll do is I would love to give a little bit of this to you, like half a jar, and I can have half a jar. I don't know if you've got plenty of stuff.
I don't know. I'm sure I've got an empty jar. I might throw that in one of my glass flasks. That is delicious, honestly.
Oh yeah, no.
And then we'll just seal you right back up. That's not too bad stuff at all.
No, it was good.
And then because. You can't come on my show without having a shot of something of mine.
Oh, absolutely.
I went a little bit light with you. You mentioned you haven't had Cannon Blast before.
Yeah, I haven't had Cannon Blast at all. That was one thing that was on my list to try. So I was like, hey, that's something we can
try right here.
Try right here.
And it's only 35%, so it's not very strong.
Oh yeah, no.
And
Yeah, because it's been a long time since I had liquor. Usually I
beer.
I partake to beers of different assortments, mostly the imported type of thing. But at the same time, there's a lot of local brews that I like as well, and there's I like going all over Michigan to hit up all sorts of different places.
Do you usually drink IPAs?
Usually
ale, stouts.
I like ales. I like stouts. Lagers tend to be my primary thing. Pincers and lagers. So
I'll see if our local brewery has any lagers.
yeah, no, I would like to.
If so, I'll try to bring one up to Michigan for you.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Ooh, yeah.
What I like about that one is
Cannon Blast. That's
it's a rum.
It's a rum, but I got that spice.
There's a what is it, like a lemony citrus flavor?
Yeah, I think that's.
It doesn't say.
Yeah, let me have a look at that.
It doesn't say. It just says an intensely delicious shot.
Really?
Yeah.
With spice and natural flavors. They don't tell me what that is. It's Caribbean. I lived in the Caribbean.
Curacao.
Curacao, that's it. Just like that blue bottle over there you got.
That I can never remember how to pronounce the name of.
Yeah, everyone says Caraco. It's not. It's Curacao. There's accents in the name. Curacao.
Yeah, that they don't print on the bottle.
They don't print on the bottle, so everyone says Caraco. No, it's not.
Curacao.
It's Curacao. And Curacao is an island right above Venezuela that's right next to Aruba. If you ever heard of Aruba, that's the place.
Yep.
It's a nice island. It was an interesting place when I lived there for about 4 or 5 years in my younger teen days. But yeah, no, this is actually quite good rum.
And 350 milliliter bottle, so 750 milliliters. Sorry.
I like the designs of these bottles, especially that. Of course, it's like a cannonball.
Well, you'll notice that most of my bottles have varying designs. That's why I buy them. They have neat bottles.
Yeah, there's neat bottles, and I remember I was looking online and I found this particular bottle, which was I think it was Game of Thrones themed. It was like a whiskey. It was a Game of Thrones themed type bottle, and they were advertising. It was very interesting. And I was like, that's an interesting bottle.
That does sound interesting.
So I was like, you know what? That's something I should bring up with you and come on your show again to
if you ever get that.
Oh no, it's on my list of things to do.
But you can get these at most liquor stores.
Yeah, I've seen them.
They're not that expensive either.
I haven't had the time to. And usually, when it comes to liqueurs, I don't drink that much.
You get what you know.
I get what I know, and I get what I usually drink. But oftentimes, I've stayed away from that just because reasons and past issues.
Yeah. If you need some water, you can have that one.
Yeah. That's the reason why I try and stay with beers and things like that. It works with my system better.
Beers hit me harder than alcohol does.
Liquor doesn't hit me as hard. Wine, on the other hand, it just destroys me. I have a glass of wine, I'm out.
There are some people, I've seen them drink shot after shot after shot, bottle after bottle after bottle, no problem.
No problem.
They have a glass of wine and they are fucked up.
Yeah, for example, it's like, if I'm drinking beer, then I have like a happy drunk type of feeling. If I'm liquored up, I am just pretty much toast from like the get-go. I mean, I'll tell you a story. This is a funny story. Way back when I lived down in Texas, there was this party I went to. It's a house party, and there were like 200 people there. And I know some friends who from the Ren and Fair and stuff like that back in the day. They made fairy wine or Loki, which is they're some equivalents of their own concoctions made with a base that would be like Everclear or things like that. But it's tasty. It's like It's very sugary, and there's a lot of that in there. So when you drink it, you can't taste the alcohol. So you can drink a lot of it and realize that you are down, because it's like 120 proof. It's not a lightweight. It's not a lightweight. So all of a sudden you have a 2-liter bottle, and you went through half it, and you're realizing, oh, I just screwed myself horribly.
Oh, I have made a mistake.
I made that mistake at this party where I was there. There was some friends that I knew from Fair. We went around. I started providing them with fairy wine. Hey, try this. This is really good stuff. It's fairy wine. It's all sorts of things. It's something that a lot of my friends partake in.
I think some people refer to it as jungle juice as well.
Jungle juice, yeah. I've heard those names. And the thing is I remember a while back, like 2-3 years ago, I picked up different flavors of Loki. There's one of my friends makes it. I'd say 15 or 16 different flavors. One flavor was actually inspired by me, which was called the Canadian. and it was a blueberry pancake and maple type of flavor.
Of course.
So I was like, no, that fits perfectly. There was a lot of other different types of things that they put out that was fantastic, and I was able to get like 30 liters worth of that stuff, and sure enough, after a few months, it was completely gone. So, but no, I mean all those different flavors were great, and in this party, I was passing it around, and I realized that I drank so much so quickly that I actually passed out before everyone else did. I passed out. All I remember was hazes of me holding my keys saying "white truck" and of me vomiting in the guy's rose garden, and then waking up in my truck in the passenger seat with my head out the window, wrapped in my. I had a seat cover around my vehicle. I somehow ripped it off of my seat and turned it into a cocoon, so I was like cold as like it was one of those that time of the year where it was actually cold in Texas. And I was like, "What's going on?" And I see all this puke outside my truck. Thank God it wasn't inside my truck, but it was outside my truck. And I looked over across the street, and it was this, the house party that I went to. And then it was like 4 or 5 people completely passed out on the lawn, the front door wide open. I was like, you know what? Yeah, no, I was still drunk at that point. So I just I got myself organized. I went back into the house. I had a glass of orange juice. I tried to figure out what to do with myself. Sat down in the guy's. I think Lazy Boy watched the movie for 2 hours and then walked out going, where the hell am I? I didn't even know which city I was in. I had no idea of all the other things that were going on. So I was like, oh, this will be fun. So I waited out enough time to where I was sober enough and drank enough water to get everything out of my system. And then I drove to a gas station and said, okay, where am I? Because during those days, it was like, it was early enough that a GPS wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need a map.
Oh,
I usually
man.
went to a gas station.
And
I
know that
I told
feeling.
them, I was like, so where am I? I was like, oh yeah, you're
in this
50,
town.
You're 50 miles south of Houston. Oh man. Got home, realized that the hangover started kicking in, and that was 4 days of just agony and pain.
Oh man.
And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that again.
I say it a lot on this channel. That's why you should drink responsibly.
Yeah, no. I've learned that like 12, 15 years ago, so...
Oh man.
So, and that's the thing is, I'm your age, so...
Yeah, you're only like a couple years older, I think.
Am I?
I'm 28.
Oh, okay. No, I'm 34. I'm almost 35.
That's still not too much older than me in the grand scheme of things, honestly.
Yeah, no, but...
I still remember the day before GPS.
There was like 4 years that felt like 40. I mean, it felt like 40.
Was it the end of your
40s.
20s, beginning of your 30s?
No, it was like in the middle of my 20s. Like
college.
right before going... it was right before heading to Michigan and then getting into Michigan and then mellowing out from my party years. So
college years.
Yeah. The early college years, and then I have the later college years, and then I have the university years because I was a professional student, kind of just rolled through that. So I enjoyed learning and studying, so that was my thing. Once I got into engineering, that was, it was worth all
rolled
the time.
through there.
Oh yeah, I rolled through there.
All right.
I didn't do as much partying, but I was the guy who used to go, you know what? I'm going to be behind the counter, and I'm going to be making stuff.
You're not the party. You're the party maker.
Yeah. So I started being the party maker because I had enough experience. A lot of my friends down in Texas, they were all bartenders. You know who you are. and they taught me a lot of stuff, so I kind of threw that together, and oftentimes a lot of my friends, they would have some parties in university, of course, and we would have an Archer party. We would watch Archer, and I would do themed stuff where we had Vespa martinis and Canadian White Russian. And no, that sounds kind of weird, Canadian and White Russian.
I can see how you can do it.
I mixed the I think it was the Baileys with something else that was more in the realm of Canadian for the I think it was coffee liqueur.
Okay.
I kind of rolled it around to be a few different brands, and then it still worked out. Now, on the other hand, I did kind of take a few people down to the floor, and they weren't getting up. So I'm not guilty about that. They needed to learn. That's the thing about early college. You have to learn that kind of control.
You learn what you did.
Yeah.
And do and will do.
That was, and we were also the older.
You were the upper class.
They were the upper class, junior, senior, or super senior in my case. So they're like, well, you're new into this. You're just 21. Well, let me show you the way.
You're just learning to drink. Let me show you what you shouldn't do in the future.
He's
That
like,
you
"Good."
will inevitably do in the future.
I'll tell you that. Now that you've gotten all this drinking, do you understand how dangerous it is? Yes. Oh, good. That you've got
Are you
that
going to
out
keep
of the way
doing it?
now.
Yes. As I would hope from freshmen.
But that's the thing. Is some of these kids, like, they would drink more before they were 21, and that would happen. You know, that happens. And then, you know, after 21, like, yeah, the
It loses
allure-
its cool factor.
It loses the cool factor. It loses the whole, yeah, it was kind of illegal type thing. I'm like, okay. I mean, I started drinking, can't remember when, but it was definitely, you know.
I started at 21.
Yeah. I started a little earlier, but it was in a very controlled environment. And then 21 was the time when, I could tell you all the things about when I was 21.
Oh, man, I don't know if we've got time for that.
Yeah, no,
But-
too many parties, too many things. Just
Maybe in a later,
lot of
future
drinking.
episode.
future episode definitely. I'll keep that. I'll
But-
keep that in reserve. I'll keep
Yeah.
that on the side.
But for now, we're gonna have to wrap this one up. So, Andrew, thank you very much for
Absolutely.
letting me have some of that still moonshine, which
Oh, yeah.
is delicious.
Oh yeah, no.
And thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next episode.
Peace out.
All right. Oh, let me go ahead and.